Hi everyone, and welcome back to the study room. Welcome back to my channel. Welcome to the page. We've got so many pages, we've got so many channels. My gosh. But I hope you're all doing well. I'm doing so great. It's early in the morning. It's Friday. I hope you had a productive week. Mine was better than last week. Yeah, I did so many things that I've always wanted to do, but been saying I'll do them. Procrastination, guys. Okay, without any further rambling, today's video is all about enlightening you to study in the most effective way possible. Yeah, so more like studying smarter than harder. You still have to study hard, but then if you put the smart way or the smart techniques on your studies, it can actually make things much better. Okay, yeah, let's see. So, the other tips that I got, they were from other people who were actually studying smart, who got A's. Yeah, but I am just going to really dwell much on my experience and on what I know best. Yes. So I'm going to tell you to address what you can do, what you shouldn't do, what I would advise that you shouldn't do. So number one, avoid studying during the assessment times only. Just at the beginning of the term, make it a daily bread that you study. Sometimes you can just feel like, you know what, I owe this to myself. Let me just Friday or that Saturday. I had those times where I would just watch movies. Yeah. And quite frankly, this is funny, but then this is what was happening. I was only watching movies during exam times. If I know I'm writing the next three days, 2 days, I'm not even touching that subject or that module. That I'm not. All I'm doing is to reply to calls, to text that can you please help us there. And I was so generous. I was happy to do it because it was more like now I have to put myself on the spot. I have to assess myself. Okay, am I able to help this person? And it was all the time. And obviously is that I can help because during the start of the period, I tend to I study. I just go with the flow. I even get ahead with the lectures. It's so fine because you get to even understand better in class when you study prior the class for that particular chapter. When you get there, when he explains or when she explains, you just take your highlighter or your different pen and you add more notes to what you already have studied. Okay, this is actually how I can answer it because the reason we get to also pass much better, even if you didn't take the explanation from the textbook, is because of what he said, the way he interpreted it. So you've got actually two opportunities to either remember exactly what the textbook said or to remember how it was interpreted by the lecturer. Yeah. So when the exams approach, it is the time to revise. You only do the touch-ups, not for you to start back then. It's going to backfire. Ya go explode nje molelo phua. Ayikho siyama. Yeah. So the other thing is that and it's I feel like it's a common struggle that we tend to just copy and paste information. So there's a difference between understanding the content, understanding what is it all about, and there's also just taking in information. You are taking it in, but you are not understanding it, and in that manner, it won't get restored. You won't also understand. So that's what I'm saying. It's better to just try to put much concentration, intensive concentration. You also have to avoid multitasking, like studying while you're on WhatsApp or keep on going to WhatsApp. You are disturbing the flow of ideas and also studying. So avoid doing other things while you're trying to study. If you know that you can't study with someone, don't do it. You need to, I'm going to have and the next video, if not the second next, about how you can closely monitor yourself. Yeah, so you need to avoid multitasking because that it's going to cause distraction. Yeah, so eliminate such disturbance. Okay, the other thing is to plan. When you study, you like just before you could even start. By planning, you can start by at least going to the outcomes of the chapter. Okay, you put this, okay, this is at the end of this, I need to be able to do this, I need to be able to defend. In that manner, you are at the same time setting like a formal, informal test for yourself, because you are looking at the criteria as to what is that you need to know after you have finished the chapter. The other thing that we also need to refrain from normalizing is that when you're from class, it's okay to take break. You can take 2 hours, it's fine. But then don't tell yourself that I'm from the class and we did it. Okay, you are from the class, but then you didn't study. It's all about self-studying. So you going to the class doesn't necessarily mean that you have studied the chapter and you have understood it and you know exactly that, Luana, that's not the story. You need to actually start and study it until you understand it. Yeah. And believe you me, when the assessment times approaches, you don't have to increase the number of hours that you normally study. If you used to be at the beginning of the term, you used to study 5 hours per day, you can actually do it 2 or 2.5 hours during the exam times, because now it's not all about the content, it's just about the touch-ups. You do the revision. Honestly, it's that simple. If you keep that energy, if you keep that motivation, if you keep that attitude, a lot takes care of itself. A lot. The other important points, guys, about your effective engagement while studying, you can have something like this. It's just a blank bukanyana, yeah, where you know that, okay, this is for my while I'm studying, and then I get confused, I have questions, you just note them here. Yeah, for your lecture tomorrow, you ask, or later you do ask about them. So that is being effective in terms of engagement. Yeah, you have to make sense out of what you're studying. Like, remember that all the theory that is on our textbooks, it's just something that is in writing, but it's actually existing in the corporate world, or in different sectors. They do exist, those things. So now when I was studying, I was trying to make sense of everything that I was studying. If hobby also about the environment, I have to think, like, and when you do that, having that imaginary scenarios or thoughts, you actually see it happening, because you're like, oh, okay, this is why this happens. But if you just study and sure, you won't see it, you won't get the meaning out of it, you won't. So yes, make notes if you're not understanding, create questions or quiz. So this is actually going to help you at the beginning of your starting time to study. Those outcomes of the chapter, those should be your quizzes. You should be able to answer those questions or points at the end of the study. Okay, I can do this, I can do this, I can do that. If you feel like you're not confident about the other one, you highlight it, you can always come back. You don't have to don't spend much hours on one module. Remember that it could be possible that at least average of 5 modules per year, and you have to study them. You have to keep up the pace. You have to be on the same page with almost every subject. Yes. And the other thing is you can become a teacher or a presenter after officer hobala. Not when I see that, especially now during the exam times, when I see that maybe I'm left with a week before I could write. I now swap. I change around. I play around with different styles or methodologies of studying. I now get to stand up and I do a presentation of. I can stand up for like 30 minutes, because now I am speaking out what I know. It's more like you are assessing yourself, because sometimes you're like, I make it. You keep on asking yourself, what if I forgot something? What if I did? What if? So to give yourself peace of mind, change the mode of studying it. If you used to take a book and a paper, you write, because that's what I would do. After I have now studied everything, I will just take a book and then I write the entire chapter. It's After, I'm like, okay, now I know. Let me now speak it. When you speak it, that's when now you are taking the information well. You are taking it in a very smart way that it will be morago ga tlhogo, Setswana sa re yalo. Create questions and or quizzes. This will help. What will help you? It will be the outcomes of the chapter, because now they are stating it's more like a criteria or rubric of what you need to know at the end of the chapter. So that can help you if you can create questions. And also, for example, let's say now the chapter that you're studying is the characteristics of environmental factors. It's what factors of environment, yeah, whatever the points, man. After now you have done that, you create questions for yourself. What are the 6 characteristics of environmental factors? What are the factors that hampers the productivity within the what sector? You create those questions for yourself, and after you have studied, now you can go back and answer them. It makes it more fun, because if you keep on doing one thing every day, you won't know, because there's nothing challenging about it. Yeah. The other thing, okay, I have now touched this, and I think I can now conclude, guys. Honestly, life is way too short for you to study and study and study and study, but you're not getting anywhere. You're not even improving on because you can study actually, and it happens very quite often. We study, oh, but I studied. Why would I obtain 55%? Why would I do that? So if you can just maneuver your styles and all that, yeah. So let me just end this video here. I don't really like long videos. I hope this was helpful, and please don't hesitate to, on this comment section, post more topics, and I still have more to address. But then I will see you on the next video. Thank you so much. Please do subscribe to the channel, share, is it whether word of mouth. I know there are so many people who can actually benefit from this, so please, thank you so much.